Hello again and welcome to another edition of Suds and Country. Hi, I'm Herb Suds and welcome to the show. I'm very lucky to have Columbia recording artist Montgomery Gentry. How you guys doing?
Hey, man,
good to
great,
see you, Eddie.
brother.
Good to see you, Troy.
Good to see you.
Got a question for you right here,
All right.
Mr. Eddie. Why the mic stand in your hand? Everybody's asked me that question. Is that always a prop and is it always the same stand?
Well, no, I break a lot of stands.
Do you?
Yeah, but I was a drummer. I'm an ex-drummer, so when I come up front, just had to have something in my hands, and it just kind of worked into it, moving back and forth across the stage.
All right. Do you ever poke anybody with it?
Well,
I've got a couple of guitar
I've hit a
bends
few.
Hit a few people.
I haven't
around.
hurt anybody yet.
Okay. All right. I know. I saw you last week. You move across that stage a lot. You're in motion a lot. What is the Montgomery Gentry sound? Describe it to what do you look for and what.
To me, I think it's all our heroes. We grew up on guys like Charlie Daniels, Waylon and Willie, Haggard, Allman Brothers, Skinner.
Yeah, they're good boys.
Hank Jr. and that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
yeah,
It's just a collage of different artists that we grew up playing and covering in the clubs and everything back home.
Do you think your sound pushes the envelope in country music as far as politeness and niceness and whatever's out there today? Are you different?
Not really. You know, if you go back to the days of Waylon and Willie and
Oh,
Johnny
yeah.
Cash and all those guys, I mean, they sung about real life, things that happen every day, and I think that we're just bringing back some of the older traditions in today's market, and I think that there's a place for it.
Why do you think they separated from that old tradition? What do you think what today's sound is? It's not
I think
different.
it's
It's not
just-
the same as it was.
No, it's not. I think it's just a full circle, you know, just like
Oh,
life and
okay.
everything else that, everything comes around, goes around, and it's just now getting back into a different style of music that's been disappeared from the radio for a while.
Is this called reality country, Troy?
I would call it reality country. I mean, it's stuff that everybody can relate to. It's stuff that happens every day to everyday normal people.
For the working person.
Yeah, for the working person, and this is just something that I think that every household can relate to.
I read in your bio. It says your show supplied the stress relief. Let rock and roll and forget about the work week. Is that your philosophy?
There you go.
It is. Eddie says it the best. I'll let him tell you about it, but well, go ahead and tell about it.
Yeah, go ahead. Say a few words.
Eddie, Eddie says it the best. I mean, he talks about so many people have to work so hard.
I know.
These days. You have two working family members that have to keep the family going and everything. And I think when it comes to the weekends, that it's time to relieve the stress. It's time to get out and have a good time, put the work week behind you. And I think with the high energy show and the style of music that we have is a way for people to release all the stress throughout the work week and just relax and have a good time.
So you're saying life is not a once upon a time and happy hereafter life. Everybody, according to everybody, right? According to guys.
It's everyday life, and we're going to live it. Life's short, and I'm going to
Go
live every
for it.
day of it. I
Do.
guarantee you that.
Do you think you're on the right track with this, with the sound that you're producing on?
As far as the right track, I think that it's just the way we grew up, and we've seen all of our parents they worked and tried to make a living, and it's what makes the world go around. And so, as far as I know, the working person is the one that keeps this world going around. So hopefully that's the right track.
All right. Your album Carrying On has been described as a gutsy second helping of real life. True?
That's true.
I think so.
What's the difference between Tattoos and Scars and Carrying On?
I think that Carrying On has a little bit more maturity to it. Eddie and I have been able to get out, and we've had more experience in the studio since Tattoos and Scars. We were able to get out there with new writers and sit down and write with other writers, and everybody had more of a sense of what we were going for the second album. And I think that with the time that we had in between the first and second album, it helped create a better album.
What growth factor is the most important between the two albums?
Myself, I think, like Troy said, the maturity of it, and I think it definitely, like the players that played on the album and everything, because we cut our albums basically live in the studio.
Yeah.
The second time when they come in, they was like, we know what you want, we know who y'all are.
Describe what live in the studio is, because I had to read up on that.
Well, most people, they'll go in and, they'll track this day or something, or they'll do, this or that, or one player will come in one day and another player.
Well, they separate the players
Right.
into separate little booths. They
Okay.
don't put them in ISO boxes, which is
Okay.
they enclose one person in the studio with
Okay.
one instrument and put them in separate boxes. And we went about it like our old heroes did.
Yeah, we just come in and, we put everybody in a big circle facing everybody. We hung some mics in basically from the ceiling. Me and Troy went into an area overside, and then we just started singing and kicking it, and if we messed it up, we started all over again.
Well, that's your influencers are Waylon Willie, mentioned it, Two Hanks, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers. And do you feel like you're an heir to a throne? Do you think you feel like you're carrying on this tradition?
You know, to me, you know, you always, you know, we dreamed of them days if we could ever be on stage with Charlie Daniels.
Oh man,
or Hank Jr.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Waylon
Jennings. And you know what? If people want us to put us in that group with them, I can't think of a better group to be with.
No. I think you got are. You know, as far as our heroes, you know, we grew up listening to that style of music, and that was something really important to us. And when we went and we got our record deal, we stayed true to our heroes and what we grew up with. So in a sense, I would say we're carrying on an old tradition into the new style of music, you know, into the future.
An old family tradition, like old Hank says.
Oh,
Huh?
yeah,
There
exactly.
you go. Let's talk about Tattoos and Scars. By the way, the album went gold. You both are songwriters, but you didn't include any of your songs on that album.
Now, you know, we write a bunch and we're writing more and more, but you know, just because our names on it don't mean it's going to be on the album. It's going to be the best 10 or 11 or 12 songs that we can find to get on the album. And if one of ours happens to be lucky enough to be on there, then it'll get on there.
And fortunately for us, you know, we on the second album, we did get a song on there with a friend of ours, Kenny Beard, called Lucky to Be Here. But, yeah, we're not going to sacrifice great music to our fans and to the public out there just because we wrote a song. We want the best songs, like Eddie said, to represent the Montgomery Gentry sound.
Can you relate to a song? Obviously you can. I was trying to think of a, you know, usually when you write them, you can relate to it a whole lot better than if you just read the lyrics and say, okay, this is a song for us. Can you must obviously relate to all the songs that you live them all?
Exactly. That goes back to what Eddie said earlier.
Right.
You know, before we cut a song or record a song, it's got to be something that Eddie and I personally can relate to,
There you go.
and that we feel that our crowd and our fan base can relate to.
How did you come by picking Hillbilly Shoes as your debut song to make you known to the world of country music?
You know, we just know that song, when you cut an album, certain songs stick out, and it's like, you know, that's who we were. And that's what we wanted to be. You know, we wanted no doubt in anybody's mind.
Were you surprised when Hillbilly Shoes hit top 10?
Yeah, I think we were. You know, I was, you know, because Eddie and I, as far as our style of music at the time, was a little left to center of what was being played on mainstream radio. Eddie and I didn't anticipate our music having a biggest impact as it did right off the get-go. We figured, you know, we were going to stick to our guns, do what we believed in, and hopefully we'd be successful enough to be able to make a career out of it. And so we were very surprised when it hit in top 10 as quick as it did.
Bill, excuse me, Tattoos and Scars entered Billboard in top 10, number 10.
Yes,
that says something for you guys.
That was unbelievable.
That was unbelievable. And a top-selling album at Fanfare in 1999. That's
I tell you what, if you know what, so far, everything the way it's happened, if we're dreaming, I don't want anybody to pinch us.
Don't pinch it. I read that 4 times in different albums. Awards. You got Country New Act, ACM, CMA, Songwriters. How about the Songwriters Award for Daddy Won't Sell the Farm? That was...
I tell you what, Daddy Won't Sell the Farm is Song of the Year in Canada, and you know what a great honor to us. I mean, like, you know, we've been talking about we've always, you know, done stuff that was very, very dear and close to our heart, and of course we both come from, you know, our family's farm.
Me too.
And
Me
so
too. I milk cows.
You know, when that hit and we got the call on that, and the boy that wrote the song was unbelievable, man. He's a great friend. Matter of fact, he come in the whole time we was cutting the song, so it was unbelievable.
Tell us about where it was taped and how, you know, a little background. Somebody will know if
we taped the song. Actually, we taped the song for the video down in Smyrna, Tennessee. But this was a song that came to us actually right before we got to wrap up on the album Carrying On. We had 2 more songs that were presented to us. She Couldn't Change Me happened to be one of the songs, so we got this in the last batch of songs coming into the studio. And like Eddie said earlier, this is one of those songs that we just knew that was a hit, so we had to put it out first. And man, it's something I think that everybody that's ever been in a relationship can relate to. I mean, it's just one of those things. So at this time, we're going to introduce
Change Me.
There you go.
Thanks so much for letting us be a part of your show.
Thank you for being on the show.
Call us anytime.
It's a pleasure to see you guys again. I saw you last week. We're going to see you again tonight.
Y'all take
You're
care
incredible.
of the man. From Montgomery Gentry, peace out. We appreciate you.
Who's your daddy?
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.